Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our webinar. We're super excited.
Yes.
We're just going to wait just a couple more minutes because we have, the majority of our attendees
People
on,
are
but we just still
funneling.
have people funneling in. Yep, I see that. All right, so we'll just give everybody just a couple minutes. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our webinar. My name is Melissa, and we're doing a webinar on reaching millennial patients.
Yes.
So Melissa McKnight, VPs of Sales and Operations. Just a little quick brief, synopsis of myself. I am a skilled social media marketer with over a decade of experience in managing social reputations with large corporations. And I really have a passion with working for businesses, boosting and building their online presence.
She's good at it.
Oh, thanks, Tiff. It's a team effort.
And I'm Tiffany. I am VP Creative here at Blue Zone. So I'm in charge of content creation. I'm a veteran copywriter. I've been in journalism for almost 20 years. So content creation is my thing.
Yes.
And knowing that social media is undeniably visual, it's just as important to get that content accompanying it.
Absolutely. All right.
So let's talk about the agenda. We're going to be discussing how to engage with your patient base online, attracting potential patients, and social media tips and tricks, keeping that brand cohesiveness and getting the right online presence. We'll even touch on blogging, and then we're going to respect your time, but at the end we should have some time for some Q&A.
Yeah, so during this webinar, if you do have any questions, we want to hear from you. So go ahead and pop them down in the Q&A section on the webinar, and we'll get those answered at the end. All right, so why social media? Because it's no longer an option.
That's right.
Right? 4.2 billion people are on social media, which is more than half of the world.
Yeah.
Such an interesting stat.
I know. If you want to reach them, you have to be on social media, because more importantly, your patients are on social media.
Yes.
So 90.4% of millennials are engaging on social media regularly. You're working to build a solid doctor-patient relationship, in your clinics, but that starts online because that's where patients are starting their process of healthcare. So they're searching and you need to be found.
That's right. Okay, so millennials. A lot of people wonder, they get this confused on who a millennial is. Millennials are born between the years 1980s up until 2000. And the craziest thing about them is they crave a specific method for learning, and that is kinesthetically, auditory.
Yeah, auditory. Yeah.
Sorry.
They gotta hear it. They gotta touch it.
Sorry, auditory and visual.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're very visual and auditory learners, and that's all. Nothing against millennials.
No,
I am one.
We are
but
millennials.
Statistically, this is what works, and so the research has been done. So we're making use of that because they want everything so visual. That's why social media is so powerful to reach them. Additionally, statistics show that millennials have the most attentive parents.
Hello, helicopter parents.
Yeah, and so in that, there was a continual justification of decisions and actions. This is just stats. The research shows that they now expect a rationale or an explanation for any choice that they're going to make. And so in that, what that shows us as businesses, we need to deliver information to them that is rich in content and truth, and then also give it to them in bite-sized pieces that they're able to digest.
Absolutely. That's me. I just want, give me the facts. Like, I didn't just get your point, right? Well, and I'm a millennial, like that instant gratification.
Yeah.
All right. So why social media? We just discussed it. Now here's what to do. So establishing a digital footprint is crucial, especially now with COVID. If you don't have an online presence, you're missing out on some serious business, right? The next thing is you want to reach potential and existing patients. This will also, help with referrals. Solidify your brand with cohesive graphics, whether that's logos or infographics, colors, branding, that kind of thing. You want to solidify your brand with that. And lastly, you want to engage with your patients online.
You have to
Yes.
engage with your patients.
Like their posts, like their comment, respond back. Yes. People love that. All right.
So how do we do it? Well, you need catchy content. That's number one. Taking advantage of hashtag campaigns, and we're going to explain all of these.
Yes.
Building a follower base so that your followers are genuine.
Yes.
And then using call to actions, and we'll explain what all of these are.
Yes. So let's get into it. So here are real ways to build your brand on social media. So number one, eye-catching eye candy. Super important that you have eye-catching content on your social media. So for example, you only have 2.7 seconds to attract someone's attention on social media. Yeah. It's like, what did you say? Stop the swipe.
Yep.
That's
Stop them in their scroll.
Yes, that's a great hashtag campaign. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right. You want to get hashtag happy, right? So just like what she said, stop the swipe, stop the scroll. No, you want to swipe, stop the scroll.
Yeah.
Hashtags make your content more discoverable, which is awesome. And finding and using the right ones actually brings your post into a larger conversation. So for example, if you're doing a search on herniated discs, if you have content relevant to that and I'm searching on social media, that image is going to pull in to my search results.
And then if your content is eye-catchy, you'll win the battle and they'll click on your post as opposed to anybody else who used that hashtag.
Totally. Increase your followers. So there's vanity followers and then there's the genuine followers. And we really love those genuine followers, right? And it's because they engage. So when you do social media right, you'll not only increase your followers organically, but they won't want to leave, and then they're going to put notifications. They're going to maybe subscribe to your notifications. They're going to constantly stay in tune with what you're posting. And lastly, make online interactions unavoidable. Call your followers to actions, whether it's polls, swipe throughs. Like for example, maybe you post on your story, like, hey, what are you doing today? Going to the beach? Going hiking? What is it? You can kind of do like one of those swipe throughs. Those are super fun.
Yeah. It's not like talking about teeth all day because you're a dentist. I mean, you need to let them know, hey, I'm going to get a coffee. What's your favorite drink?
Oh, love it. That's
asking questions and making them vote on polls, or that's all clicks and engagement.
Totally. Like London latte or an iced tea. What should I get today? Those are great points. Engagement increases the traction to your website and also attracts new followers. So you definitely want to keep up the engagement.
Yeah. Followers equals patience.
That's right.
So an example of eye-catching content right here, you're seeing a actual screen share of our social media feed. And so what you're seeing is eye candy. Yes. Everything is visual in today's world, and particularly video content.
Absolutely.
Because 85% of all internet users are watching online video content every month, and video content gets the most traction.
Yes.
So it's important to have that be catchy, using the colors and the graphics and your logos in that. Mixing it up, you can have edited formal video, or you can have informal impromptu video, like in your stories when you're picking up that coffee in the morning. Smile, be genuine, be real, people want to see who you are.
Yeah. And
if you use photos to tell your story in addition to video, just make sure it's catchy. Make sure it's stuff that somebody wants to see and will stop them in their scroll.
That's right. And don't forget to be informative, right?
Yeah, that's
definitely be informative. Okay, so here is an example. You saw on the previous screen record, it was an example of a swipe through. So here's basically what it looks like. So here we give an example of a panoramic image, and we show the dotted lines of where the image is cut. So what was so great about this content is it entices the viewer to swipe. So you can see the arrow in the top right-hand corner. What is over there? They're going to swipe. They're going to look. Yeah. What's next? What is that? Explain, right? So you can see that it calls it action for them to swipe and engage, which is really great because it pleases the Instagram algorithm, which is super important in increasing your organic followers. All right.
And those swipe through posts, they perform 95% better than a single image post. So it's going to satisfy the Instagram algorithm, but it's also going to engage your patients. So you have a twofold result that just took a little bit of creative effort.
That's right. And here we have examples again on our Blue Zone Instagram, just showing you some of our content. You can just see that it's brand cohesive. We're using our coloring, we're using our fonts, we're using our images. And another little tip and trick, we should probably share this, I totally forgot, is people want to see your business on here. So like we have right here a picture of Tiffany and I actually engaging in online reputation posts. So people love to see that kind of stuff. All right.
So hashtags, that's another thing we brought up. The hashtag is that little pound sign before a word. And what that does is it brings you into a larger conversation online. So people can actually search with hashtags on social media, and anything that has a post with that hashtag will then come up in the search results.
Yes.
So kind of like how Google works, but it's definitely more refined, which allows you more opportunity to be found. So if you're going to do a hashtag spine doc because you are a spine doctor, then you will be found in that pool of spine doctors, and they help your posts show up in those results, which helps your followers find you and helps new followers find you.
Exactly. And another little hint, there are tools out there. There's so many tools to help you generate hashtags. Maybe you're not really familiar with which hashtags you should be using. Hashtag generator really does help generate a hashtag that's relevant to your specific brand. So another little quick tip. All right. So I love this stuff right here. Increase your followers. It's like an uphill battle, but with this, you can get there. So using social media properly will organically increase your followers. So here's how to do it. Like, share, comment, save. Okay, those are so important. So you want to create shareable content. So it goes back to the eye-catching content, right?
And informative content, right? So
Absolutely.
Mom needs knee surgery and you find a post about it, you're going to share it with mom.
Totally.
Then mom's your new follower.
Yep. Use your stories consistently. You can use stories to like remind people of your recent post or share a blog post, or even just a behind the scenes is really fun. People want to see that kind of stuff. You want to go live on your Instagram or Facebook. That's another great way. Yeah, it's a great way to interact with your audience, with your people.
And it puts you right on top of their screen. So if you're engaging, if you're on the app of Instagram or Facebook and you go live, whoever is your follower gets a notification at the top of their screen. So you are now front and center.
Yeah. How cool if we had a doctor that actually wanted to go live during surgery, and they could be asking questions during the surgery.
Yes.
If that's you, call us. We want to work with you.
Yeah, we're going to hold the phone or the camera,
right.
so you don't have to. You can go ahead and do the surgery part.
We'll just ask you the questions. So you want to engage in the comment section. So if you have somebody, saying like, hey, I want to get tickets to this or whatever, engage with them. Don't just ignore their comment. And lastly, call to actions, CTAs, right? A call to action is enticing them to engage in a poll or survey.
So call to actions are like those polls, the questions that you're asking.
Are you going hiking? Are you going swimming?
Asking them to click a link.
Should I get a London latte or an iced tea? Have you ever had knee surgery? That kind of thing.
Yes.
All right. So as we mentioned, making interactions unavoidable. Again, we've just mentioned polls, questions, and giveaways. Those are really cool. Giveaways are really, really helpful. Real life stories. Maybe, we keep talking about coffee. So I'm just going to stick with the coffee vibe, right? It's still early enough. Maybe you go to the same spot every single day to get your coffee. Well, let's see your barista. Let's see your coffee fam, right?
Share your morning routine with your patient.
Right. Resharing and the reciprocal relationship. So that would be a great story to post of you getting your specific drink from your fave coffee stand. You throw it on your social media, you tag them, and guess what? They turn around and share that to their story. So now you just not only, marketed to your audience on your social media, you just now marketed to all of their audience.
And it's that unspoken rule in social media. If you reshare somebody, they will share you back. Right. It's just how it works. So you got to make sure that's a common thing you're executing in your social media posts.
Absolutely. All right. Wow, we have so much cool stuff to talk about.
This is more about your toolbox right here. Yeah. So these are the things you can use to be successful on social media. A content guide is huge because sometimes you're thinking, what should I post? And you're stumped. This takes all the guesswork out of it. You're actually getting our 52-week content guide at the end of this webinar. So stick with us, and that will be one of your freebies. It tells you what to post, where to post, and when to post, and takes into account all the platforms.
It takes the heavy lifting out of social media. That's Tiff's coin.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hashtag generators. Those are great tools. If you don't think of the hashtags that you need specific to your brand, there's a ton of generators out there that you can just get them to solicit all those hashtags for you, and then you can plug them into your posts. Instagram Reels and Stories are so important.
It's so
can't say enough about that.
Yeah. Doing Reels, and as Tiff had mentioned, you can have like an impromptu video, or you can have a professionally done video. Getting those Reels done are super important. Another really cool tip is that TikTok you actually, if you have a TikTok account, you can connect that to your Instagram, and your TikTok videos will actually go to your Reels, which is really, really cool.
Yes. So sharing it all across all platforms.
Yeah.
Millennials are on TikTok.
They are. They're always on
Yes.
TikTok.
And last but not least, design apps and posting tools.
Mhm.
So to make your designs catchy, we use something called Canva quite often. We use some other software programs, but Canva is a particularly good beginner one.
Yes.
It does have a free option. We recommend the Pro because then you'll get access to all kinds of stock images and video that you can
Mhm.
use, graphics that are super handy. But that kind of spices up a picture that might not be super exciting on its own.
Right.
When you can slap a logo on it or make a design out of it. And then posting tools just to allow you to post to several platforms all at once, like our dashboard.
Yes.
And Melissa's going to talk about that.
Yeah. So here we have the Blue Zone dashboard. And some of you that are on this webinar already have the Blue Zone dashboard, and some of you don't. You're just joining us for the first time. So let me break it down for you. So here is just one little element inside the dashboard that is super cool. So you can post to your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and your Google My Business all with one shot. You can customize the posts. You can, for example, Twitter only allows 280 characters. So you can actually break it down and customize that specific post and remove some of the characters all in one sitting. For example, you can't have a link in an Instagram post, but you can say link in the bio. So maybe you go to that Instagram post and you just change just the Instagram part of this post. Super cool stuff. All right. So much information.
I know.
Right? Okay. So we talked about why and how, but now where to start. So these are practical ideas to get you going.
Yeah.
So
you want to post like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Here's 4 tips right away to get you started.
Right away. So number 1, share the wins. You got to share those wins.
That's Melissa's favorite line.
Yeah, you worked hard for them, right? You maybe pulled 12-hour shifts to get that win.
Yeah.
You got to share it. All right. So positive reviews from Google, Vitals, Health Grades, WebMD, all of them, Health Doc, all that. They provide validity and credibility to your online brand. It's really important that you get those reviews shared on your social media.
Yeah, people aren't checking those sites regularly, so you need to put that in front of your followers.
Yeah, get those connected.
Yep. And then the other thing is removing the mystery. So a lot of people are timid about going to the doctor or the dentist, and they just dread the appointment. But if you can remove some of that mystery and make them feel a little more welcome, that can be done with a clinic tour. It can be a meet the receptionist post, getting them to see what to expect when they come in will kind of put them at ease.
Yeah. The other thing is keeping it brand cohesive. So stay with your color scheme of your logos. And if you think about it, this is a really cool point right here. Everyone recognizes these colors as Google, even without the words Google or the logo. Visual tools like graphics and color are powerful to your brand. So for example, I just saw this really cool one. It was a post done if it was an outline of a cat, and you knew it was a cat without all the detail of the cat.
No words,
right?
No explanation, no nose and whiskers.
No. So cute. Okay.
Visual stuff works.
Yes.
It's important, but equally as important, you need to educate and inform them. So the content needs to be there. You tell a little bit about the care that you offer, or, what kind of procedures that you specialize in, but giving away this information builds trust, and that translates to followers.
That's right. 100%. All right. So we've given you so much information.
Yes, don't sweat it.
Yes, don't panic, right? We've got you. We've got your back. All right. So we just want you to know, making this your social media philosophy is really going to help you. And there's 3 things that you just need to remember. The 3 F's.
Yes.
It's fun, fresh, and frequent. Remembering those 3 F's is really going to help you with your social media philosophy.
Yeah. Just visually interesting content, valuable information that maybe they don't know already, and then staying regular and consistent.
Absolutely. This is such great stuff.
Yes.
Whew.
Social media, it's a big deal, right? There's a ton of components, and one of those things that really helps it is blogging. And it's severely misunderstood.
Totally underrated.
Yeah. So I'm going to shed some light on blogging.
Yes.
Blogs matter. Sites that blog, sites that blog get twice as much traffic as those who don't. They enable you to tell a longer story than a social media post would, but the social media post can drive traffic back to that blog.
That's right.
So that contributes to your organic SEO, which is super important.
Hashtag backlinks.
Mhm.
We love a backlink.
We do. So blogging, especially for medical fields, allows you to brag a little and educate a lot. You're accredited, you've gone through med school, you have this education, and people want to see that and know that they can trust you. But they also want to get to know you a little more. We talked about that humanizing element in some social media posts, but a blog really provides you the opportunity to tell the larger story.
Yes.
So a Meet Your Doctor post allows you to boast a little bit about yourself, but it's completely acceptable to brag in that venue. And it's funny, we did this for a client who was a surgeon, and this blog post performed outstandingly and on all social media platforms, but particularly on LinkedIn, which is unique because LinkedIn had a lot of more of his peers age group demographic.
Right.
And so these were people that were his age and had been his clients before, or just knew him in the medical world. And they commented and were like, I never knew that about you.
So cool.
That was so fun to read.
Yeah.
So you're kind of opening the door to tell a little bit more about yourself, and it works.
Yeah.
It's more intimate.
Right.
So that was great to watch that. And those kinds of posts are extremely important for doctors, but educational ones are also.
Yes.
Because like we talked about, the millennials are seeking explanations. They want rationalization for these choices and actions. So you need to be able to provide that content. And sometimes a social media post just isn't quite enough space to explain it.
Right.
So you can give them the bite-sized pieces, and then the people that want more will head to the blog.
That's right. And you just link those two together and throw in a hashtag on top, like a cherry. We're good. You got everything tied in.
So blogging empowers your online presence.
So much.
It's just the statistics are out there. It works, right? For SEO. Relevant content is super important. Patients are searching for information online. So they want to know what's going to happen when they go in for this shoulder surgery, what to expect with their recovery. So once they find you on that website, that's going to drive traffic back to your social media pages.
I think people too get confused. Like they think a blog is maybe a stay-at-home mom's daily journal
I know.
Or like a home decor blog. Blogging is just so much. It's just content on your site that it doesn't weigh down your actual website.
Yeah.
And so when Google's crawling all this stuff, you pop up over your competitor.
It's true.
Right.
And it's content that's specific to you.
Yes.
So it's not like someone's just Googling about shoulder surgery and seeing what Wikipedia says.
Yes.
It's literally your content, which drives them back to your practice.
And not only that though, but people like millennials, I don't have a PCP.
That's true.
And I have a PPO insurance. So I basically get to pick and choose where I'm going to go and when. So this kind of content really just grabs me, my attention, and it's going to entice me to stay with them because they're informative. Then I get to like understand who they are as a person, and it just really.
And free content builds trust, right? So you're giving this away not because you want something, but just because you want to educate and inform your patients. That translates into care, and then that's who they want to come see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So keywords are huge in blogs. I mean, it's really good for organic SEO. And then when you start doing those digital ads on social media, those keywords will be shared and they'll pop up, and it'll provide links back to your website. The best way to do this is, like we said, just post a blog on your social media. So one of those, if you're struggling for what to post once a week, if you're blogging, that's one of your posts. Done.
There you go.
Check it off. I'm just going to redirect them to this article on my website.
Right.
They're going to be educated, informed, and aware, and you've gotten some traction on your social media feeds.
Absolutely. And a hint, just so you know, just remember, you're the subject matter expert when it comes to this, and they're looking for you. People are looking for you.
Yes. So you want to get going
right now,
tomorrow. Or maybe not right now, because we have like a couple more minutes.
Maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. So practical ideas to get you going.
My favorite, share the wins.
This is her thing.
You got to share those wins.
Yes.
Positive reviews from patients are a great thing to highlight in a blog post. For example, maybe it's a case study. Maybe it's a patient that went to another doctor and had, one diagnosis. They came to you and had a complete different one, and it's way better.
Yeah.
That's something you want to talk about.
People
want to hear about. We did
a second opinion post.
Totally. People want to hear that stuff, and it just validates you, and it's bragging without bragging, right?
That's right. It's acceptable bragging.
It is.
And then removing the mystery. Sound familiar? We talked about this with the social media posts. Removing that mystery. Yes, it can be a quick video or picture, but then you can do a whole clinic tour as a blog post. You can do a meet the staff blog post. You're showing them a little more of the story.
Yeah. People for example, if you have an MRI, maybe you're an imaging center and people are afraid of an MRI, right? Yes. By showing the office and going through and having somebody go through it, just kind of takes the stress out of it, right?
It's true. And statistically, the millennials, the more information they can get, the better decision they can make, right? I
Right.
mean, that's true for a lot of people, but just hearing that content and knowing, okay, this is what's going to happen from point A to point B.
Right.
Now I'm not so worried about it.
Absolutely.
You know, and then they'll come.
Totally. So the third one would be meet the doctor. This is so good. Just going back to what she was saying earlier, this specific blog is so great because it just humanizes you. We know that you're accredited. We want to know you're accredited,
that's
right?
kind of
It's really important that you are accredited, that you're skilled in your trade, but we also want to know that you're a person. So this is a great way to showcase that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then educating and informing again.
Yeah.
If you provide a specific procedure and you want to talk about what's going to be involved in your root canal, well, you can lay it out in a blog post step by step.
Yes.
You don't need to send them to med school. We're not like trying to give them a full degree.
Right.
We just need like some bite-sized snippets. Again, it goes back to that little bits of information that we can process.
Absolutely. And obviously educate and inform. And we just keep going back to about educating and informing. And I feel like that kind of just encompasses everything we've talked about. If there's a specific case study or anything that you do, you just want to educate them. There's a lot of information out there and you just want it to be found on your site. And you want people to stay on your site. I'll throw that backlink, hashtag backlinks in there. Woo, well done. You've learned a lot today. All right, so let's recap. Well, successful companies are consistent. So the 4 things that you want to do to stay consistent is you want to blog regularly. You want to share impromptu videos and content twice a week. You want to post at least 4 to 5 times on your social media, and you want to use helpful social media tools. Now, if you really want to boost though, if you really want to have a robust campaign, you should be posting like 3 times a day.
Super active. And so a lot of companies will have like a marketing person that's in charge of doing that. And then they'll see a lot more traction, you know, or even like somebody on staff or us, they'll see a lot more traction more quickly.
Yes.
So that engagement, it'll just take you longer if you're not completely consistent. And so you need the tools, but we're going to give you 4 tools.
That's right. We are going to give you 4 tools and we're super excited about these tools. Okay. So as Tiff mentioned earlier, the social media content guide, what to post, where to post, when to post. It's a 52-week guide on all different types of topics, which is a really great tool. The social media content calendar, it's going to lay out the 12 months and 52 weeks and what am I posting here? And it really allows you to take that content guide and kind of put it into the calendar, which is really, really cool.
So, you know, like this date is National Donut Day and you're ready for it because you bought all the donuts for the office and you're going to post about it.
That's an awesome post. I love that. I love donuts.
Donuts are good.
Yes, they are. What's your favorite donut?
Definitely the old fashioned.
Oh, boring.
What? I like it.
I like the white frosting with the rainbow sprinkles.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
I'll
get you that for your birthday.
Okay, great. All right, you're going to get 7 days access to the exclusive Blue Zone dashboard. So not only when we talked about the dashboard allowing you to post your social media with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and your Google My Business, but the dashboard also allows you to respond to all of your online reviews. It pulls all of them out there from all of the sites, respond to your reviews, post your social media,
comment.
Yeah, you engage in your social media, manage your business listings. You know, it's like your name, phone number, and address accurate out there. That dashboard is going to help you educate and update all that information out there. A CRM, you can text and email patients to get more reviews, so much more. And the greatest thing about this, it's one login.
Yes. So convenient.
You don't have to go to all these different places to do everything. It's just one login. And lastly, it's the Blue Zone Business Snapshot. It's basically going to run a report card on how your business is performing online. And we're going to help find ways that we can help you. Yeah. All right. Whew. So I've been watching this thing.
I know. We've got some questions.
That's 14 great, questions. All right. So we're going to get at this.
Address them. So the first question we have is, you are talking about eye-catching content. Your content examples look great. How do I create that? I have some images and videos, but they might be a little too clinical for social media.
Wow. That is an excellent question. Okay, so let's break this down. Number 1, how to create the content. Well, we recommend, you know, if you want to do it yourself, obviously there's a quick little tool, Canva, but a lot of our clients, they don't want to do it.
Or they don't have time.
Or they don't have time. Or they're like, I'm just not creative. I can't do it. We can do that for you. The other question, the second part to that was
clinical images.
Yeah.
might
Oh,
be
those are
somewhat well received.
good.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I love those.
you'd be surprised how well they
Yeah.
perform. And usually the reason why is because nobody's explained what's going on. So a lot of
Yes.
times you can solve that problem by putting text onto the image,
Yes.
explaining what it is. So instead of them having to look at the picture and read the caption, you've got the text that's important right on that picture, and that'll stop them in their scroll, and then they'll learn more by going to those comments and captions. And
people love to see those surgery images too.
Yeah,
they're
it's
really,
funny.
they're really into it.
You'd be surprised. Yeah,
Yeah.
they perform a lot better than you think.
Totally. That's a great question.
It was. So the next one is, should I use the same hashtags over and over, or do I need to keep creating them? If I do not need to create new, how often should I create them?
You should use the same hashtags relevant to your brand over and over. For example, we're a marketing company, social media marketing, we're going to use consistently. We have our own unique hashtag, find your blue zone. We're going to use that consistently. But you're not going to do, maybe we wouldn't do like a social media hashtag if we're talking about business listings. You want to create those hashtags relevant to updating your business listings.
And then the timeliness of hashtags is another thing. So if you're doing a special campaign where it's like, free clinic February or something, and you want to make that a hashtag for that whole month, you'll add that in and then you'll remove it. So it's about, keeping them timely, but also consistently using those same ones, so that, because remember, people are searching in these social media fields to say spine doc or orthopedic surgeon or periodontist. Like, I need to know that I'm going to find that content, and the only way is if you've got that hashtag in your post.
Totally.
So keep them the same, kind of revamp it. I would say reassessing that maybe every few months or so.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Because you want to see if you can add anything else. And the way you'll determine that is by seeing what kind of engagement you're getting, what kind of questions, what kind of new patients. Like if more and more people are coming in saying, hey, I'm really into the stem cell thing and I want to know more about it, add that hashtag now.
That's right.
Because if you do that, you can provide more info as it becomes more popular.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
Some of what we do is very technical. Does your company do the actual blog writing? How does that work?
That is a great question. This is Tiff's wheelhouse. Yes.
Okay, so we have a couple bloggers on staff, and one of them is a nurse, so she has the medical training and verbiage knowledge that maybe I don't have, but we also do a lot of research. So that's why our blogs are rich in SEO. We are not just typing a standard nothing blog article that just has a few random statistics.
No.
We're doing the research because we want to make sure you're successful, and it only works if you're giving valuable content.
That's right.
So in order to do that, we find out what we need to find out. And we also work with our clients. We have a great relationship for the ones that we blog for. And what they'll do is they'll maybe send us a list of bullet points and say, I want you to cover X, Y, and Z in this blog post. Make sure you highlight this. And here's a page on my website that talks about what I do.
Yep.
And then it's our job to research and compile that information, organize it in a way that is interesting to read, informative. And then we break it up with captions. We break it up with pictures. So videos. Yeah. So those blog posts, they're well thought through. I mean, they're going to be something that is not going to lose the attention of the reader, so they stay on your site. And that's the goal, really.
Yeah, absolutely. That's these are great questions.
Yeah, seriously. So the next one is, what if I don't have Instagram? Yes. And the dashboard makes that super easy.
It does.
Because if you're already, say you're on Facebook and you've just been on Facebook longer and you didn't quite make the Instagram jump, if you're already there and you're already posting, get in the dashboard, you're still going to only make one post.
Yeah.
So you're not increasing your workload, but it's going to then blast off to all these platforms.
That's right.
So the dashboard is a really helpful tool in that regard.
Totally.
Because then you don't really feel the burden of being on all these sites.
Yep.
But you're still getting the exposure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instagram is crucial.
Instagram is so important. One person says, I don't have time for this.
Yep.
We know.
That's the number one thing we get is, I don't have time for this.
Yes.
That's okay. We have time for it.
Yes.
We can do it for you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can create a customized social media plan for your business needs. No problem. After this, just reach out to us and we go ahead and do that business analysis and find out what your social media presence looks like.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there.
Yeah. And if you don't have time, one of the things I would say is obviously you want to work your way to have the budget to hire that out, because it is
That's a
it
great
is an
point.
equally
Yeah.
important part of your business, just as much as doing the actual work that you do.
It's your digital billboard.
Yeah.
Right.
So you really, it's unavoidable. Like we said, half the planet is on social media. People are starting their searches on social media, to find their doctors, to find businesses, to find a shop they're going to go to. I mean, this is where they're searching, and this is where they're interacting.
Yes.
They're trying to ask you questions like, hey, when are your hours? When are you open? Like, that's all happening in social media now. It's not pick up the phone anymore.
So reviews. I mean, reviews
Yeah.
are actually on social media now too, which
That's
is
true.
super important.
It's super important. So I would say that you have to do it.
Yes.
If you don't have time, make time. And if you say you really just can't make extra time, just start doing what we said, which was those kind of organic stories where you're filming yourself doing what you're already doing.
Right.
So I'm walking to work, I'm getting my coffee. You have time to pick up the phone and film while you're already doing that, right?
Yeah.
And then just start there and, work your way up to maybe some of the more graphic design posts, or outsource it is really what comes to, and it needs to be done.
Totally. And another really quick thing is there are, you can use stock images that the dashboard will provide for you. So there's stock images in there for you as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
So another one is, how many times in a day or week should I be posting to my social media? So we kind of chatted about this with the tips and tricks, 4 to 5 times a week. And then definitely at least 2 times a video.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be pro video.
No.
Make sure you understand that this can be, or stories, a little impromptu.
Right.
Hey, just National Donut Day. What's your favorite donut? And
Right.
you picked up the camera to film it. So, but as Melissa said, you could go a little further if you want to gain quicker traction.
Yeah. If you want a robust campaign, you should be posting at least 3 times a day.
And especially if you're leading up to a specific event,
right?
You'd increase that frequency for that week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so how can I get more reviews on social media? I hardly have any Facebook reviews right now.
Ooh, I love that. I love online reviews.
I know. Well, that's so important.
So important. So how to get online reviews? That's a great question. We have in the dashboard a survey feature that allows you to text or email your clients, patients, whatever, a review request to your preferred platform. So let's say you would want to really just drive the reviews to Facebook, then you can do that. You can throw Facebook and Google on there. We highly recommend Google reviews because when doing searches, that's the first place people land on their cell phones is on Google, and they're going to look at your Google reviews. But if you want to increase your Facebook reviews, that's a great tool to have in the dashboard and use it as your preferred site. We can do that for you.
That's the best way.
And it's a text. You could do text or email, which is really cool.
That's how people are responding.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next one is, what about Twitter? Yeah. So Twitter, the funny thing about Twitter is about 80% of the posts or the tweets on Twitter come from about 10% of their users. So it's a really top heavy market in the sense that these people that are constantly on there are the ones getting the traction.
Yep.
And so we still send all of our posts out on Twitter through our dashboard. It's still integrated and you can get a presence on there.
Right.
But I don't necessarily, I know that patients are not going onto Twitter to seek their care because there's no, large presence of the images and the videos that you can find on Instagram or Facebook.
Right.
Because that's more real-time sharing, so it's just not as productive for you.
You should have a Twitter though, because Google acknowledges it as a reputable platform. So you should be on
and you should
there.
still post to it.
Absolutely. But you don't need to live in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That's kind of what I would say there.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, how much is the Blue Zone dashboard? They know the value. They're still okay, this is what I need.
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah.
So the Blue Zone dashboard is $4.99 a month. You can go out and you can look at all these different platforms for just online review management or social media management.
Posting,
or surveying. There's all these different platforms out there, but the difference between ours and all the rest is it's all one login.
All one place.
One login. On top of all that, there's so much heavy data and analytics, so much rich information in there that's going to show, your marketing funnel, engagements to your leads, what's happening in your business online. You can connect your website analytics. You can connect your Google Ads analytics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much stuff.
There's built-in review analytics. So if you get a review and they're constantly talking about the receptionist at the front desk is so friendly, if her name's mentioned, 20 times, they're going to show you that.
Yes.
And then you can, reward and incentivize your staff in that way. So it's great for business, but it's also great for the the public facing stuff.
The other really cool thing too is you're going to get notified if somebody does a review. You'll get an email. On top of the heavy reporting, you can get you can have it automatically sent to you, whether it's weekly or monthly. You'll have so much content, so much information, how a post performed.
Yes.
The best time to post this specific content for your brand. There's so much information in this
the
dashboard.
analytics are super geeky. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
As Jason says, he geeks out on this stuff.
Yes. So another question. It says, can I respond to comments in the dashboard?
Yes,
you can.
You can. Absolutely. Someone comments on your post like, this is great. I love working with you. I can't wait for you to help my mom. You can comment right back to her. Absolutely. It's a great question.
Okay, so what is the best type of post for Instagram? Well, I think that we covered that with the swipe through.
Yep. Eye-catching.
Yeah. Why don't you explain again the value?
So the value again of that panoramic image is what we call internally as the swipe through. Is it's really important that you get that engagement. So it's really crucial that it's eye-catching so that people stop, because remember, you only have 2.7 seconds to get their attention. So you want something that's in their face, right? They stop, they look, call to action with the swipe through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the next one we have here is what should I write blogs on? How do I find good topics?
Ooh,
that's good.
That's Tiff's wheelhouse.
Yes. So our 52-week content guide for social media can really be translated between blogging and social media. So if one of the posts is about, meet your surgeon, another one is introduce the staff or a clinic walkthrough, those can all be social media posts, but they can also be elaborated on in a blog post.
With the hashtag.
With the hashtags, yes. And if you're going to post about things on social media that you're doing, say it's, today we're getting ready to do a total joint replacement and we're using this implant. It's really cool and breakthrough, that can become a blog post. So whether you're doing it yourself or you're going to send it to a company, you just provide the content, the information that needs to be highlighted, and you elaborate. Basically, like we said, telling the rest of the story. So finding good topics, another way to do that would be to plug your hashtag into social media. So if you are a spine doctor and you do hashtag spine doc into social media and you see what comes up and you see what people are looking for, right? So additional hashtags that maybe the other users are using or photos or posts, you're going to start seeing, okay, this is the content that's out in my field. This is what people want to see. I'm going to elaborate and give them the information first in a more catchy way so that they come to me, which is really the trick when it comes to online.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so another one is, let's see here. What about TikTok? We talked about TikTok a second.
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok is, about 20-something% of millennials are on TikTok. So they're there. It's really good because it's quick. You should be on there. We can't stress this enough. You have to be on all these platforms.
Yes.
You have to be visible on these platforms. They may not all give you the same traction or the same amount of followers or the same amount of patients,
but you're there.
But you're there. It's your presence.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's about being on it and about posting consistently, like we said. So that's where the dashboard helps, because you can just blast off to all these places. LinkedIn, again, the person that asked about TikTok asked about LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is a little bit higher age demographic.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot more professional, but it's great for those blog posts.
Oh, it's excellent, especially when you share on LinkedIn. It pulls your blog header image over. So if it's a picture of you or a procedure, whatever, people are going to stop on your LinkedIn because they are enticed by that image, and then that content just goes with it. I love LinkedIn for that.
Yeah. You say half the world is on social media. Are they on every platform? That is a good question. So we do have some stats on that. Half the world's using social media, and there's regular users, right? And regular users means they've logged in the last 30 days. They're pretty active on the platform. Facebook has Facebook has 2.7 billion users.
Yes.
Regular users. Instagram has 1 billion regular users. But Instagram has more female users than male, whereas Facebook has a little more male than female. And Facebook has a broader age range than Instagram does. Instagram is, I think, female and millennial heavy. Yes. But the average time that they're spending on these platforms, regardless of which one and how many people are on it, they're dedicating like 40 minutes a day, 30 to 40 minutes a day on these. And that is, watching video content and scrolling. And of course, there's more time than that spent by some people. We know how that goes. But, you know, you got to get in front of them. Yes. That's the point. So yes, half the world, but you know, some of them are on Facebook, some are on Instagram, some are on LinkedIn. They're all using something. So it's about getting on those platforms so that you can be seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that all our
I
questions?
think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. These are great
We
questions.
have some comments in there too. Thank you. I love that.
Oh, you're so welcome. We're glad. So we're going to go, this is going to be recorded and thrown up on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, we'd love to work with you. Just reach out to us. Here's our contact information. Send us a text, an email, DM us.
Yeah,
whatever you
absolutely.
like.
Find us on all of our social media feeds.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love that we were able to stay within your time.
Yeah.
Give you back 15 minutes
Go
of your
eat your
day.
lunch now.
Yes. Have an amazing day, and we'd love to hear from you.